Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Marris and I have an actual car video for you today. I don't do car videos a whole lot, about once a year probably, because I don't know, I tend to focus more on art and books on this channel, but I do car stuff in my normal life. So here's a car video for you today. So in this video, I'm doing a little bit of stuff to my car, nothing major. I got wheels for my car about a year and a half ago. It was around December and it's June now, so probably a year and a half ago. I got Enkei TS10s, I think. That sounds right. And they're 18 by 8 all the way around, plus 35 offset, whatever the offset is. It didn't give me the fitment I wanted, but I wanted to play it safe because I wasn't sure. And it was fine when I was on stock height, but then once I went on Eibach lowering springs, I got a 1-inch drop and you could see the fitment. Oh, hello. You could see the issues with the fitment a little bit better because the fender was closer to the wheel. So I decided that 5mm spacers in the front and 10mm spacers in the rear would be enough to offset this issue. The only issue was that I didn't think about was the studs that the lugs, go on, were not wide enough to fit really a 5mm or 10mm spacer. The 5mm I think I could have made work, but there wasn't a whole lot of thread left for the lug to grab onto. I decided to go with extended lugs. I got ARP, American Racing Products. Yeah, ARP. I decided to get extended lugs. I don't know exactly what size I got. If I'm being completely honest, I'll put it on screen. I'm really bad at remembering those types of things off the top of my head. I'll go ahead and put all of my specs in the description. So like what tires size I have, wheel size and offset, and then spacers and which size extended lugs I got. But that's the main thing in this video. I would not take this as an instructional video. I did find an instructional video on YouTube that was very helpful throughout the process, which I will also link down below. This is more just me trying to do it. It's not even me trying to do it. It's my boyfriend trying to do it and me standing there being like, yep, that looks like something that's happening. I've had the extended studs and everything for a while. Oh, a car just drove by. You on guard? I'm sorry if he's distracting. I also had to get open-faced lugs because I wasn't sure how much room I had to work with once the studs were on. But like I said, I wouldn't use this as an instructional video. All right, so in terms of the extended studs, I always want to say extended lugs because that's just where my brain goes, but extended studs. Here is my instructional video that I don't know, and I don't know the names of certain things. So like I said, watch that video that I linked below if you're looking for something more instructional. But otherwise, if you want to watch me make a fool of myself, that's what this video is for. Okay, so step 1, take your brakes off. The video that I have and the instructions I'm gonna give are for the rear end. It is a little bit simpler for the front end, but I would recommend doing the rear first because it's more difficult. Can you stop like bathing yourself? Can you hear him? Because he licks very loudly. Can you shoot? Look how big this boy is. Look at his face, he's so angry. If you weren't so fat, it wouldn't be uncomfy. Okay, what was I saying? This is for the back wheels. So step 1 is gonna be to take your brakes off.
No, did you get that?
Yeah. Got it in 4K.
Oh no.
I'm getting all the good angles.
Your lights.
Okay, now I'm like, nut. Just shove it back there and forget about it till later. or just forget about it completely. You don't need it. Step 2 is going to be removing the rotor, which that is easier said than done. So I figured out from that video that I told you about, that is linked below. I'm just going to keep stressing to go watch that video. The first thing you're going to want to do is on the rotor, there are 2 little holes and you can fit a screw into them, and the screw size is here. And the first thing you're going to want to do is get all the rust out from those holes so that you can put a screw in there. Or I guess it's a bolt, irrelevant. We got some steel wool and we wrapped it around the drill bit and we put it in there and spun it around and got it nice and out of there, because there was just so much gunked up in there. The car is a 2019, so it's not that old. It just sits all the time. So even like, I'm sure that if you have an older like 13, it's gonna have all kinds of gunk in there. But so you get all that out of there, and then you are going to get your screw, bolt, whatever you want to call it. Get 2 of them and put them in each hole, and then slowly you're just going to get your wrench and it will push on the rotor and allow it to separate so that you can take it off.
Oh, just a baby.
That's caramel, yummy.
Just a baby.
The peanut butter. Forbidden peanut butter. Oh.
Got a little too much on there. Center a little too hard.
I'm just kidding. Do you want a vacation from your car payment all summer? It took us a while to figure this out, and we didn't know that that's what those holes were for, so we were heating it with a torch and smacking it with a hammer, and I was so scared Wesley was gonna smack my fender. He didn't, luckily. So once you get the rotor popped off, then on the rear end, this isn't on the front end, just the rear end, you have to take apart the emergency brake system, which is a series of springs, and you just pop the springs off. My one tip will be to make sure you get pictures from all angles of what it looks like so that you can piece it back together correctly, because there's lots of springs, and if you're facing the same, like the hooks have to be like facing the right way once you put it all back together. So take that apart. My arm's getting tired. Can you hurry up? Gremlin laugh. And then comes the fun part. You get to beat the old studs out, which you just take a mallet and you just smack them till they come out. It's very scary because I was like, if we can't get these new ones in, I'm screwed. But you just send it. If we can do it, you can do it. Well, maybe not. Wesley's mechanically inclined, but you don't need to take it somewhere to get to do this if you have tools and half a brain. So then, I don't know if these words are correct because I don't know what I'm talking about, but we unscrewed the hub from the drive shaft, Does that make sense? Is that the right words? I don't know. The like axle shaft or something, which also scared me because that's like what makes the car go. So I was like, maybe we shouldn't be unscrewing that. But you have to so you can pull the hub away and fit the new stud in, because otherwise the new extended studs are too long and you can't quite get them under. And then you can't quite get them under there. My large child. So demanding. But you only have to kind of shimmy it. You don't take the whole hub off. You just unbolt or loosen the bolts a little bit and pull it away maybe half an inch. And then you can slide the new studs in. Right, Nemo? Mm-hmm.
See shit under here.
So once you get the new studs in, or you do them one at a time, we got a stack of washers and put them in there, and then you drill it and it pulls it through. Oh, he's making me hot. So then what you want to do is, once you get the extended studs in, you take an impact gun and a stack of washers. So you have your stud, your stack of washers, and then your impact, and you just pull it through with the impact, and you'll kind of feel it once it's locked in place. And you do that on all of them. That one's about to fall out.
Oh, yeah.
And then do the same thing backwards. So retighten the drive shaft in the hub, and then put your rotor back on, and then put your brakes back on. Or don't forget your emergency brake system. That's kind of important. Yes, that was probably not helpful at all, but that's I think what we did. Wow.
For some good footage.
Do you feel better because the sound stopped?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Edit that out.
It doesn't want to stay on. On top of that, I also switched out my floor mats, which isn't very exciting, but I got the Club Street Hate floor mats like 2 years ago, and they were the cloth or the fabric ones, and they got kind of torn up because it's that kind of material that they like screen print, or they like print a design onto the cloth and it just was a mess. So I got all-weather floor mats, but they're from the same company. And I also put underglow on. So with the underglow, it's not like low glow or anything fancy because I don't want anything fancy. I just want pink. As you know, pink is the accent color of my car. All of the accents on my car are pink. And I'm not a huge fan of underglow. I'm not a fan of the flashing underglow that changes colors. I just thought it might be something kind of fun. I really don't drive my car at night or at all. I work from home. I'm a homebody. I decided to get just pink. So I got it on Amazon. I'll also link it below. I think it was $85. It has little like clip thingies and you like screw it in, and there wasn't great places to screw it in, and I didn't want to put holes in my car. Like some of the places that I would have had to screw it in were like metal, and I didn't really want to screw and drill into the metal. So I was able to strategically zip tie it in place, which I know isn't the best way to do it, but I figure if I don't like it, I can take it off and there's no damage done to the undercarriage of the car. So I will insert a video showing you like where I zip tied it. So if you do have a BRZ, oh, by the way, all of this is for a BRZ, if you didn't know that that's what car I had. But if you do have a BRZ, or I don't know if I'm assuming the FRS and GT86 are the same underneath, but I'm not sure. So because it was just one color of underglow, it just has an on and an off switch. It doesn't, what's it called? Like, it's not like sequential or anything. So what I was thinking was, since it just has an on and off button and the wiring wasn't quite long enough, we kind of did it semi backwards. So the wire wasn't long enough to reach my battery, which I was just gonna wire it straight to my battery. I was like, well, I'm only ever gonna want the underglow to be on when it's dark outside. Like, I don't take my cars to shows, so there would be no reason for it to be on, like in a showroom or in that sort of a situation. So I was like, why don't we wire it directly into my taillights? Because obviously I keep my car like lights on auto, so once it gets a certain darkness, my lights come on. And the wiring ended up being towards the back of the car. I thought it'd be super easy to run the wiring up through the trunk like I did with my fourth brake light, because that already had to be wired up through there, and then figure out which wire was the like nighttime running lights for the tail lights and go ahead and wire it into that. So every time my headlights and tail lights turn on at night, the underglow will turn on. And if I don't want it to, I can just turn it off, but otherwise I would just leave the underglow in the on position all of the time, and then they would only get power when the taillights got power, if that makes sense. So like, not when I'm braking, obviously, but it would only be when the headlights and taillights are on. I'm just tapping into the taillights to achieve that, if that makes sense. In theory, it makes sense. We haven't done it yet. Right now, it's just up underneath there, not connected to anything. All of the wires are just kind of like zip tied up, so I don't catch them on anything, and we're gonna try to do that tomorrow. But if it's in this video, it happened. If it's not, we weren't able to make it happen. Yeah, that's the video. I'm sorry that I don't know what I'm talking about and it wasn't helpful, but I thought I should put out some sort of car content. I'm gonna try to do more car content, but I'm not working on my car really. That was the last step, was really fixing my fitment for my car. I would like unequal length headers and overpipe, and then to get a tune, but that's a lot of money and with little benefit for my car. The headers I'm looking at give me an extra 15 horsepower, 30 torque without a tune, which I would get it tuned, so it might be a little bit more than that. But I'm really doing it just for the sound, which, is it worth $1,500-$1,600, maybe more to do that? I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed this nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not and you want to subscribe, do that. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have a car Instagram, an art Instagram, a personal Instagram. My cat has an Instagram. I do semi-fun car content on TikTok. So I'll link all of my stuff down below if you want to follow me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye.